Hello, my little friends. Welcome to Toon Stories for You. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get started with our first story. The Short-Tempered Demon. Once upon a time, there was a very short-tempered demon. He would get angry at the smallest things. When angry, he had no control over his actions. One day, the demon decided to make for himself a very beautiful tree house for the summer. He worked hard for 10 days. On the 11th day, a beautiful tree house was ready on the tallest tree of the jungle. Just when the demon was giving it the final touch, a pigeon flying above him dropped a worm on his shoulder. The demon was furious and started chasing the pigeon. After a long chase, the tired pigeon sat on top of a tree. The demon was so blinded by the rage that he didn't realize that it was the same tree with his precious tree house. He lashed out at it, and the beautiful tree house came crashing down along with the tree. So the moral of the story is, thoughtless anger can cause serious damage. So never act when you are angry. You will end up damaging yourself. Now the second story. Suzy's ice cream party. There was a girl named Suzy. One day she decided to call her friends for an ice cream party. She mixed the ingredients and kept them in the freezer. After a few minutes, she grew very impatient. She opened the freezer to see if the ice cream was ready, but it wasn't. Every 10 minutes, she checked the freeze. The freezer got warmer every time she was opening it. Even after 4 hours, the ice cream failed to set. To make matters worse, just when Suzy's friends were about to arrive, the fridge broke down and Suzy's ice cream party was ruined. So, the moral of the story is, impatience is the mother of mistakes. Never be impatient. Now, the third story. Blue patch in the sky. Tim and his grandma planned to spend one whole day at the beach. When Tim began packing his picnic bag, he saw big dark clouds gathering in the sky. "Oh no!" Tim exclaimed. The clouds thundered and soon it began to rain heavily. "Please, Grandma," Tim pleaded. "Let's not cancel our trip." "Don't worry, Tim," Grandma said. "We will definitely go if we see a bright blue patch in the sky." Tim sat by the window and waited for the blue patch to appear. The rain stopped, but the clouds refused to part. Then Tim had an idea. He decided to enjoy on his own till the clouds parted. He ran to his room and fetched a blue handkerchief from his cupboard. He went to the terrace and started waving his blue handkerchief. Pretending that it was the blue sky, he clapped and laughed and called out the birds on trees. Grandma, who was glancing at her wet plants in the garden, looked up just then and smiled. "The clouds have indeed parted," she said. And they had. It seemed that looking at little Tim's efforts, the sun had smiled and peeped out from behind the clouds. This created a bright blue patch in the sky, just above the handkerchief that Tim was waving. So, the moral of the story is, make the most out of an unpleasant situation. Now, the fourth story. Fingers and the thumb. Once, all the fingers of the hand ganged up against the thumb. The sharply fingers teased the thumb for being short and stout. They teased him, ugly thumb, ugly thumb. The thumb grew sad and decided not to be in the company of the fingers anymore. He sat there, unmoving. When the hand needed to write or hold anything, it couldn't. The fingers realized that even though the thumb didn't look like them, he was more useful than all of them. The fingers then apologized to the thumb and the hand began to work again. So, the moral of the story is unity is more important than beauty. Now, the fifth story. The Slave and the Lion. Once upon a time, a rich man had a slave. The rich man was very cruel to him. So, one day the slave decided to run away from his master. He ran away into a forest and hid in a cave. Just when it got dark, he heard a roar of a lion. He was frightened as the lion was coming inside the same cave. As the lion came closer, he saw that the lion was limping. The lion approached the slave and held out his paw. The slave saw that the lion's paw was swollen and a thick thorn was stuck in it. The slave held the lion's paw in his hands and drew out the thorn very gently. The lion was instantly relieved of his pain. He then turned and went away without harming the slave. After a few days, the slave was caught by his master's men. He was brought back in front of the master. The cruel master ordered his men to put the slave before a hungry lion as a punishment. Everyone was invited to see the punishment of a runaway slave. A lion from the jungle was put before the slave. The lion roared loudly and came towards the slave. The lion slowly advanced towards the slave and instead of attacking the slave, he started licking his hands out of love. The slave too patted him affectionately. It was the same lion whom the slave had helped in the forest. Everyone clapped for the bravery and kindness of the slave, and he was then set free by his master. So the moral of the story is, kindness always begets kindness. So friends, did you like today's stories? If yes, then don't forget to subscribe because I will be regularly bringing a lot many stories for you. And I don't think you want to miss the stories. So please click the red subscribe button below. See you all in the next video. Till then, bye bye.